RDR fam, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great Tuesday. Let's do a quick DR recap and see what sets up for tomorrow. Today was one of those days again. So we've had two kind of just rough days when it comes to DR. I only had one trade today that I took early. Had a busy afternoon, so I really wasn't watching the market as much. But as I come back and kind of looking at the chart, I see where there were definitely some areas where people could have gotten caught on the wrong side of a trade just based on how it's set up. So let's talk about it and see how we can help to mitigate some of that. All right, so range-wise, 44.83 to 44.68. So what's that? A little less than 20 points. So probably in the ballpark what we're normally looking for. Now again, if you look at our setup for the day, we kind of had this move here. So not a nothing I can say from a bias perspective that I would be looking for. Now, when we did confirm, we confirmed right around 11 o'clock, right on this candle here. And then we had a really nice retrace right back up above the IDR low, which is, again, that's kind of one of my favorites, right, to look at is see if we can get above IDR before I take the trade for it to come back down. So once we got above, I went put my order on this red candle here, and so that's about 44, let's say 71-ish, and then went down to about 67, or so 66 is where I end up getting out on that trade. So I got the full 5 points on that trade, and it was a quick 5 points, right? So it was all within that 1 5-minute candle. So I was pretty much done after that. Right? Okay, got my 5 points a day, and we just keep it moving. Now, here's where I say we could have gotten a little bit in trouble, right? So once we cleared this 5 points, we went back up again above the IDR, above the DR low. So if you're taking a DR trade on that, you would have gotten in, here on the DR line, and you can kind of see what happened where we really didn't have much of a, much room here. That may have been like 1 or 2 points maybe on this trade. So if you were scalping and you were aggressive about it, then that's fine. But if you're trying to let it sit for, 5 points, then that would have been a problem. You'd have got stopped out. Because here's how I would have looked at that, right? I would have said, right down here we have midnight open. Okay, I think did I set my midnight today? I may be wrong, guys. So let me not talk about that. But I think that might have been yesterday's midnight. I don't know if I set it today. Because like I said again, I wasn't doing that much trading. So, but in theory, I would have expected this trade to come down to midnight before it would have rejected, right? That would have been how I would have played it. But again, I can't guarantee that that's actually midnight for today. So let me not talk about that too much. Okay, so that would have been one kind of a danger zone area here. Okay, that would have been an opportunity for a stop out. Now again, here we see IDR low. It's like how up here we came above IDR and I put my order here. I would have done the same thing here. Now the good news here is I wouldn't have gotten picked up. Okay, now if you guys can understand why, right? Because remember, I don't put my order on until I go above, right, above that line, right? And so my order been on that line, and I would have not gotten picked up, right, because of it never came back down to retest that. So yes, order would have been there, no big deal. Now what I would have done though is once we got here above this 0.5 fib, that blue line is really on the same as a old buy side liquidity sitting there, but that blue line that you can see under there, I would have put an order here for price to come back down. And you see here we have the same issue we would have had down here, where I did get picked up. I would have gotten picked up, but it would have been like a 1 or 2 point scalp at the best before it reversed on me. Okay, so that's two areas where I could have gotten caught, if I was doing this actively. And again, this is kind of what happened yesterday, right? We had, the initial move was fine, but then, it didn't follow through, right? It reversed on us. And so if you look at the patterns, and let me do this real quick, and then, well, let me do this real quick before I forget about it. All right, look at today's pattern, and let's look at, so this was yesterday's pattern. This is, let's go here. That's yesterday's RDR. If I can squeeze this in a little bit better so you can see it. Let's try it right about here. Okay. What I want you to see is kind of what happened. Still not good. Okay, yeah, that's be fine. All right, so look at here, right? So here we had this movement where price was up and then it came down below and then it started to move back up, right? Tested it again and it went up, right? So we had this kind of this upward movement even though we confirmed low. So if you look at today, we kind of had the same thing, right? We had that down. We went back up here a little bit, then we came back down again. Then we just went up the rest of the day, right? So yes, our confirmation was low, but the actual price movement was up to the upside. So I knew that coming into today, so that's why I was a little bit wary of what was happening. So we really don't have clean movement right now. Okay, so you got to be really careful about how you're just taking these trades. But again, my normal kind of just set it and forget it. I wouldn't do that in this current environment. And again, we're getting close to triple witching, quad witching, whatever comes up on Friday. So the volatility is definitely on heightened alert, right, so to speak. So just be careful of how you're taking those trades. And that's why, like I said, even on this trade, I wanted to get above the IDR, even though we had confirmed here, and I could have probably put an order in down here, but I wanted to get it above IDR because at least that way I have some room to come back down, even if it doesn't go all the way down here, right? I can at least say, okay, I'm gonna take my profit down this side. All right, so that's part of just understanding the price movement, the price action, and then also your risk tolerance on this stuff, right? So, okay, so again, if I think we had it right, we had one. So we had one here that would have been an issue. We had another one here, it would have been an issue. Third one that would have been an issue, right? So we had a lot of issues today. So even here, like let's say we escape this one, price goes up, starts to come back down. I need to order right here on the 0.5 fib. That just makes sense. Again, you see kind of what we had here, another 1 or 2 point move. So if you were scalping and saying, and 1 point on ES on the mini is $50, right? $12.50 per tick. So that's $50. So you want to take $50 off of that trade, or maybe $100 if it's 2 points. Or do you have multiple contracts on? So if you had 2 contracts on, that 1 point move is $100, right? So that's nothing to sneeze at if you're trying to build an account up. But again, if you're looking for those 5, 10 point moves today, it wasn't to where DR had formed. It was actually like yesterday. It was in the opposite direction. Okay, so that was a challenge. Can you mentally get yourself to the point where you're like, okay, I'm taking this trade. I'm taking this trade. I'm gonna take it on the contrarian side of the market. All right, so all right, so that's that one. Again, we had a lot of pitfalls and traps today. All right, here's another one that could have caught you if you were trying to just set it. You set it on that DR low. I mean, on the 0.5 fib, expecting price to come down because again, we're still looking at that confirmation. But it went down right below it. It went right back up, back to the upside. All right, so. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 trap holes or pitfalls or whatever you want to call them that would have been would have definitely have been in play today based on how we look at our DR strategy. Then we came up here and you see what happened. We actually went confirmed. We actually became a false DR day, right? So we closed above the DR high, which is the opposite of our DR low, and so that's where we get into that. Remember, the main premise of the DR strategy is that, once you confirm to one side, there's a 70 to 80% chance, right, that you won't go back above the top of, and in this case, we confirm low, 70, 80% chance you won't go above the range to the upside, right, and vice versa if we had confirmed high, right, and so today was one of those days. Now, can you still trade on those days? Absolutely. It just becomes a little more difficult because you kind of lose your, like the edge to me is knowing what price should not do, right? So it should not do this. So if I see it start to move, I can, assume that's going to go back down in my direction. But in this case, it didn't do that, right? So, yeah, and that was early today. Sometimes we get this around 3 o'clock, which is no big deal. This was at 1:30 basically, so we went up and we came back down. Now here's where again, I don't know if I would have taken this trade. I really don't know. I've been thinking about it while I was doing the video. I'm like, I'm not sure, because in theory, what you could have done is actually just put an order here or here, right? Because you went up, now you're coming back down. So if you still kind of trusted this bias, even though we had made a false day, could have put an order down in one of these zones, and now you're in good shape, right? Now you're in really good shape, because actually, you know, if it hadn't gone up here first, that would have been a really nice retirement setup. But you see, that's what it did. It basically retraced this whole movement up. It's got taken out in the last couple hours, right? So that's that's what I find interesting, is basically, I said all this movement all day, and then this just kind of comes, right? So I always say elevators up. I'm sorry, escalators up, and then elevators down, right? That's the movement, right? So we went up real low or real slow, and we kind of just dropped it toward the end of the day. So anyway, so that's the news. That's what happened today with DR. Like I said, I only had one trade, which is over here, which got me my 5 points for the day, and I was okay with that. But then a lot of pitfalls here, on the way up, but then you could have gotten it all back plus some on this way down if you were willing to take that trade here, right? Honestly, you could have taken it there. You could have taken it down here on the .5 fib. So that would have been an opportunity. I probably, if I was losing here, right? And let's just be honest, if I'm losing trades here, like I'd have lost like 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. I'd have been down quite a bit. I'm sure I would have won some revenge, even though this is not in the strategy, but this would have probably been a revenge trade on one of these over here. All right. But anyway, we live to fight another day. It's gonna be a interesting week. We got CPI right before quad witching and all kind of stuff going on. So, I'm real busy this week. Work is getting their money's worth out of me this week. Got some major projects going on, so not spending a lot of time during the day on the charts. Like I said, I get my one trade in. If I can get more, I will. But if I get one in and it works for me, I'm satisfied for the day. And if I lose one or lose two, like yesterday, I lost two, and then just happen to catch the one at the end to make up for those two. Hey, let's keep it moving. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Anyway, you guys know what we always say: love on your loved ones. You never know, you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of that opportunity. Lost another friend from high school that I went to school with recently, and somebody was all big, strong, fast. Just one of those guys that you didn't think anything was wrong with, and we lost him the other day. So just again, keep love on your loved ones. Let them know you love them, and all that good stuff. All right. Anyway, that's it, guys. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It might be the same kind of day tomorrow, and we'll just work through it and get to the point where days become very easy for us. That's part of the trading journey. So, all right, you guys have a great night, and we'll do it again. All right, see you.